Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Adrienne Everheart, your dating and relationship coach. Tonight, I'm going to be talking about detoxing from the toxic man chase cycle. There's an actual cycle that when you are often involved with a toxic man and you love him, things feel good some of the time, and then a lot of the time they don't feel good. And so you're just stuck in this place, and there's a chase cycle that's happening. So I'm going to just give you some examples of if you are involved with a toxic relationship, you might be a little confused about if you are or not. I'm going to talk a little bit about how feminine energy can heal what's going on in this sort of toxic or semi-toxic relationship, and how you actually detox from this type of man and regain yourself and regain your feminine energy. So hi everyone, this is a live video. Thank you so much for dealing with my technical issues I was having earlier. So detoxing from a man using your feminine energy is a way that I believe you can heal yourself and you can heal the man. So often my clients write to me and they really want to know how they can heal the man in their life. And the man has so many problems. He has so many things going on. He might be out of work. He might be having sick, or his parents have recently, suffered a great illness, or he suffered a great loss, such as depression, anything like this. And what it will really bring about is some toxic behaviors. Maybe not. Maybe he's just already toxic and he has somehow got into you have attracted him somehow. So I'm going to talk about that. Sorry if there's any sort of delay. It's showing up perfect on mine and I'm connected right to the Wi-Fi. So hopefully it'll be okay. You guys coming in okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can see me all right. Okay, so we're going to keep moving along here. So toxic relationships can really go on for years and years. You can go on for years and years with a toxic relationship because a lot of times what's happening is that he is doing a lot of pursuing. So no one says a toxic man can't be full of masculine energy and be pursuing you. Okay, so this can be, happening for years with you. You can be having a toxic situation where he's pursuing, and then he'll back away. And then because of the toxicity, you will then also begin pursuing. And it just has this back and forth type of quality to it. So whenever I talk to a client and she lets me know, like, well, this has been going on for years, or it's been about a year and a half that it's been this way, or we started off really great, but then, a month or two into it, this thing happened. I start to see some of this toxic behavior. Now, I am not one to throw around labels like toxic or narcissist or things like this. But there is, I believe, toxicity in everyone. I think everyone to some element has a little bit of a toxic behavior to them. So I do believe that even in the worst person, there is some good. And even in a very good person, there is something bad. So it can kind of go either way. I have an open mind about it. And I will tell you, I'm one of the coaches that really believes you can heal a man through you. I believe a woman can heal a man. So many coaches or, even a counselor or a therapist might say, hey, pass, just move on. It doesn't sound like this guy's good for you anymore. You need to get out of it. Now, I want to just stop right here and just say, if there is any sort of physical harm or abusiveness going on to you, your children, your animals, you have got to get yourself to a safe place and stay there until something can be improved and both of you can work on this. Okay, so I want to just preface that with getting yourself to a safe place. But here's the thing. When you're in a toxic relationship, a lot of people are going to tell you to leave. They're going to hear a couple of words about it and they're going to say, girl, you got to next. You got to get out of that. And that is so easily said. And it's very, very difficult to do, especially if you have children, especially if your heart is really, tied to this man. It is very, it's very easy to say this to someone, and you just need next. It happens in my groups all the time. People say next, and I always respond at iHeart Love Academy with, "You're not being helpful." Because as long as you're in love with a person and you feel like you're in love with that person, your heart is tied to them, for better or for worse. Your heart is tied to them. So this is really about getting yourself to a better place while you're in the muck. I want to get you out of the muck. I want to tell you, hey, leave him right now. You got to get out of here. And I sometimes do tell my clients, I say, here's what I would love to see you do. But if you're not ready for that, here's what you can do right now. So this work begins and ends with you. Leaving that man, you're going to go right out and potentially find another man that's going to abuse you in a new way. Or you may find that it is you with a lot of toxic behaviors. I hear from a lot of women that they realize they had a lot more toxicity than they thought. So this is about detoxing while you're in that relationship, while you're still connected to this person. Some people change all the time. Some people never change. But I believe when you change, you have the greatest capacity to change everyone and everything around you. All right. And if it doesn't work, at least you tried. You're not up late at night going, what if I would have tried? You're not going to have that remorse, you see. So at least you're going to try. So this is something that I talk a lot about in the ABCs to get him back. The ABCs to get him back is a program. It's kind of controversial because I give you a 3-month protocol where you do certain work, and in 3 months' time, you have the ABCs, the absolute best chances to get your man back. It happens all the time on iHeart Love Academy, which is my Facebook group. Women use this program all the time, and they get their partner back and they rebuild. Rebuilding is key. But remember, I believe it starts with you. Change you, change the man. Change you, change everything. So let's talk about this a little bit. Now, you might be wondering, is my guy toxic? It's so easy to throw around this word. Is he toxic? And the thing about a toxic man is that he is going to trigger you. He's going to trigger you either into chasing him, and then when you don't chase him, he's going to chase you back and keep it going. Okay, keep that chase going. And it's really confusing because over time, it starts to do a number on your brain. You start to actually get a little confused about what healthy love is supposed to look and feel like. And this is why I get you back into your body. So is this clicking? You maybe have forgotten what healthy love looks and feels like because you've been caught up in the toxic cycle for a little while. And you know what? Maybe you were born into a toxic cycle. Maybe you were born to toxic parents or toxic situations. A lot of us were. And you haven't yet even learned how does healthy love look and feel. So this is where I use feminine energy, which is something that's natural in you. It's natural in men too. You have feminine energy, and we get you in touch with your body and what you are feeling in your body, not what you are thinking up in your head. All the girls in my group who tell people next, move on, you should just leave him and move on, they're up here. They're telling you what's logical, right? And anytime someone tells you to leave someone or just abandon this and give up, they are telling you what is logical. They are not telling you emotionally, what are you really feeling? This is where you change everything. I hope I'm getting through to y'all with this message about how powerful it is and how much we neglect what we're feeling in our body because we're up here in masculine energy. Okay? So some toxic behaviors are, they lie a lot. Now, once in a while, if you catch your guy in a little fib, that's one thing. I, knock on wood, I have never caught my man lying about anything. He's one of the most honest people I know. But the person may lie to you a lot. You may catch them in the lies, or you may discover that they're lying. They may even tell you in a past relationship they lied. They might drop out of the relationship or stonewall. I had a client recently telling me that every time her and her husband got into a little bit of an argument and she had all went to work on it or fix it or solve it, he would just drop out for days until she would eventually come back around and try to make peace with him. My ex, the one I call the artist, he actually would just flake out on me and just not talk to me for days. And I was just in terrible pain, not answering my text, not answering my call. You show up at their house, tears running down your face, pounding on the door. Why won't you talk to me? It's very manipulative to stonewall and to just drop out of the relationship. So watch out for that one. The big toxic behavior that is super duper deal breaker for me is they don't respect your boundaries. Not respecting your boundaries. No means no. So a lot of these toxic guys in this world, they don't hear a woman's no. And, knowing that they're hurting you, being aware that I'm hurting you, and you're setting a boundary, whatever it may be. No hitting me, no hitting my children. That's extreme. That's a boundary. No, this isn't happening. And they go, I don't care. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Now, that's an extreme. And I'm going to talk about lighter boundaries where women come across as controlling. We come across as toxic because we're trying to enforce multiple boundaries. We're putting boundaries up everywhere we go. I'm going to talk about that. So let's move on. Women can begin to feel toxic because we're getting triggered. We're getting triggered, and maybe you have a little bit of toxicity ourselves. So ways that we get triggered are the man will dismiss our feelings. We'll tell him how we feel, and he will dismiss it. He'll be like, so you say that all the time. Weren't you just crying yesterday? Yeah, they dismiss your feelings. Very masculine behavior is to dismiss feelings. The man may project. He might accuse you of feeling something you don't, but it's actually something he feels. So projecting is kind of tricky how that one works. The big one is you may feel like you're walking on eggshells when you're with a toxic guy. You're going to feel like just something is up, something is not right. When is it going to happen? Because you're anticipating it. And the big one is your gut really feels like something's wrong. And that's when you do stuff like you go and check his phone, or you follow him to wherever he's at to make sure he's really there and he's really doing what he said he was going to do. You start checking up on him. So these are some ways that toxicity triggers us into reacting and engaging, which makes that toxicity grow bigger. So let's say you're in a situation like my client was, where she will come to her husband. She says he's not doing anything around the house. He's not helping. He's a narcissist. He's totally up in his world and his mind. And anytime she asks him to do something, he just shuts down for days. He feels a very different thing is happening. He feels like she's totally trying to take control of his mind, that she's trying to control every part of him, and that she is micromanaging him to the point of insanity, that he doesn't even know he loves her anymore. But get this, we got all of that out of him because she left. She said, I can't do this anymore. I want to be in a loving relationship. This feels toxic to me. And she left. Then comes this big long letter with him telling her all of this information. So I don't want you to have to get to that place. And if you are at that place, I want to show you how to repair it the best we can. So let's talk a little bit about repairing and detoxing from a toxic man. So when you begin to heal, the man will heal. If this man does not heal, if he does not get better, he will stop. He will move on. He'll go somewhere else and find some other woman to torture with this mess. But if he starts to heal from it, because you are not engaging, you're going to do these things I'm here to tell you about with feminine energy. When you stop engaging with him, he'll just stop this. He'll stop it. It will slow down. It won't happen instantly. And much like the way a kid will test all the different parameters, every different way you can possibly come up with this, a man may do this too. It may be all he knows to do. It's not that he's a bad, evil person. It's just that this is what has always worked for him. This is how he has survived his whole life. He doesn't know any better. He doesn't know how to trust. He feels like, he has this threat of being totally controlled and losing himself. We don't know. I don't even want you to know. You don't even need to know. You don't even have to psychoanalyze him. Just know that this is what he does. When this happens, my man does X, and here's what I'm going to start doing. So let's talk about feminine energy. Now that you understand toxicity, now that you understand how you yourself can actually be lured into that toxic cycle, and you might even have some toxic, no one is perfect, all right? Everybody's got some stuff. So how do we get out of this toxic cycle? The first one is I want you to listen to your gut and find out how you feel. So there are different voices going on inside of you. One of them is your nasty voice. Nasty voice or critical parent, it can sound a lot of different ways. Critical parent or nasty voice rather, will have this great big fantasy about how you're going to leave him and you're going to end up with that guy at work that, has been tempting you and flirting with you. You have that fantasy, okay? That's kind of like what nasty voice does. Nasty voice has this great idea that he's going to come home from work and you and the kids and everybody's going to be all packed up and gone. You're going to stick to him. Okay. Nasty voice will also tell you things like relationships never work out for you. You're not meant for love. It's never going to work out. Here you go again. You're trying again. There's just something wrong with him. There's just something wrong with you. So nasty voice is going to be negative. It's going to have something negative to say. Just notice this for a minute, okay? You have nasty voice. You then have your masculine energy, which is thinking. And a thought sounds something like this. Well, what if I do this and get him to go to therapy with me this time, and I'm going to call him up at work and I'm going to tell him, you need to be there or I'm leaving, and I'm going to have this plan. And you start going through this plan, this thinking, this lots of talking, thought stuff. That's your brain. That's your brain. Problem solving like a pro. Problem solving. And it might even chime in with nasty voice and come up with some great ideas. Okay, so there's your brain, which is your masculine energy. There's nasty voice, it's going to be something negative, and there's going to be your gut. And what is your gut saying? So when you think about your partner, so ladies, just stop what you're doing right now. Think about your partner, go to your gut, and just say, what do I really feel about my man? And you may find that your gut has a one-word answer or a three-worded answer. Your gut is very succinct. Your gut may even say, you need to leave. That may be the thing that your gut says to you. And instead, I want you to focus on how you feel. How you need to leave is really a little bit more of a thought, problem solving. So, okay, I need to leave this. He's no good for me. I get it. But how do I feel? And really get in touch with how you feel. So start there. Because when you get out of your head and you're no longer playing chess with a person, you're no longer playing this intricate game. You do this, I do that. You do this, I do that. You get into your body and you can realize like, oh my goodness, I feel so scared. Or, this person is sweet. And I know I was on him today. I know I was after him today to get him to do this or this or this. You see, you get really real with yourself. Please tell me in the comment section if brain, masculine energy, nasty voice, and gut is resonating with you. Gut will be a very short, quick answer. So I want you to listen to your gut and find how you feel. This isn't about taking an action. This isn't about making him do something or not making him do something. It's about finding how you feel. It's about getting out of your head. All right, good. Let's move on to the next one, which is we don't engage. We don't engage. He's going to come to you with bait. He's going to come to you with something because remember, he's used to this toxic cycle. It's all he knows. And he's going to come to you with something and you're going to want engage. You can't. Stop yourself from engaging. Because when you engage and you raise your voice or you lose yourself or you start going up here, or you start making threats or ultimatums or reminding him of everything he's ever done wrong, you're engaging. So he's down here going, hey, will you come fight with me? And you need to stay here. I'm a goddess on the pedestal and not engage. Not engaging is one of the most difficult things that I have ever practiced in my life. And you're talking to a person who can give up sugar and flour. Engaging is a very difficult thing to not do because you get this spark of energy that you want to solve it, fix it, whatever it is, prove someone wrong, whatever it is, and you engage. Okay? When you engage, you get out of your body and you start letting monkey brain, you let the animal brain run the show. You're no longer making conscious decisions about your life and conscious decisions about how you're going to treat someone, how you're going to love them, how you're going to show up for yourself. Showing up for yourself mostly, okay? This next one is my most fun. How about most fun? You don't do drama. You don't do drama. I'm just done with drama. I don't do drama with my friends. I don't do drama with my family. I don't do drama. Here's what drama is. Anything that energetically fills over about a 2.5. If a 10 is yelling, screaming, threatening, and a 1 is falling asleep, you want to be at about a 2.5 with drama. I don't do it anymore. It's not what I do. I don't participate it, and I don't do manipulative drama. All right? That's a tough one for women. I don't do drama. I would encourage all of you in another browser window, Google drama triangle. Okay, this was put together in 1970s. The drama triangle always has 3 parts to it. It's a triangle. And one of the parts is victim. And you're either dealing with someone who is portraying themselves as a victim. So think about your relationship. What is he doing? He's saying, and then you did this to me, and I'm just going to sit in this corner and cry. And what do you want me to do? Somebody's a victim, right? I'm drawing on past experiences, by the way, when I pull this stuff out of me. Past ex, the artist. Oh, that guy was full of drama. He was full of drama. I've never seen a man cry so much in my life, and I babysat children who did not cry as much as this man cried. He was just full of drama and possibly just suffering with some type of depression, whatever type of depression it was. He sure seemed to have a good time when he was getting his way. I'll just put it like that. So one person is the victim. That can sometimes be you. You can turn it around and go, what are you doing to me? You're making my life so terrible. You can become the victim, right? Another person is the persecutor. You're stabbing it at them. And what about when you did this and you did that and then you did that? And look at what happened to me. Persecutor, victim. You can persecute someone. What about 5 years ago when I caught you cheating on me? You're still persecuting him. You're persecuting him for life. You cannot persecute someone and expect them to love you and want to stand by you into the sunset. You can't be a victim either. It's not healthy, and it's not really truly who you are. Okay? You're a grown adult person right now. You're in charge of your life. Okay, so let's moving on. You've got persecutor and victim, and then you have rescuer. And rescuer is something that I was really good at. When someone would go victim on me, I would be like, here's how I can fix it. Here's how I can help. Just like this. I would come up with everything to try to help you or fix it, or, oh, let me make it better. I once, witnessed a girlfriend of mine who was in a toxic, abusive relationship with a man. She had made him a plate of food, having it ready when he came home. Something was on that plate he didn't want. He took it and just threw it at the wall. And she just immediately started cleaning it up. Honey, I'm sorry. I should have never fixed you this. She was rescuing that mess. All right? So I like to give you guys extreme stories so you can scale it back. You might relate also to these extreme stories. I don't know, but answer in the comment sections. I want to overtrain you up here so you can use these tools. So let's take some questions about dealing with feminine energy in toxic situations. So I'm going to look at Cindy's. She said, I joined late. Is there hope for a toxic relationship? What about if there's name calling or verbal abuse? So Cindy, you want to drop down into your body and let that person know how it feels when you're being name called. You can say to him, you can call me anything you want. You can speak to me however you want to. It's your right. Remember, you're not here to control him. You can talk to me however you want. However, when this is said to me, I feel this small. When this is said to me, I feel like running and crying. Notice I'm not saying the word you. When you call me this, when this is said to me. So why are we not using the word you? Well, you're already in a tough situation with this guy if he's calling you names. And whenever you use the word you did this, you did that the other night, you put a person automatically on the defensive. Now, I'm not saying for the rest of your life you need to have kid gloves when you handle your husband. But if you want this to get better, you've got to start somewhere. We have to just start somewhere. And this works. And if it works, do it. You're welcome to call me whatever you want. It's your right. However, when you do, it feels like this. And you have to remain consistent with that, because what he's hoping you'll do is the part of him that is ready for drama, the part of him that wants to keep sabotaging the relationship, whatever the psychology is behind it, the part of him that wants to keep doing this is waiting for you to engage. I'm not engaging anymore. I don't do drama. Poof, your life has suddenly gotten so much easier because you don't do it. And if things get too intense, you tell them, say, all this loud voices, it scares me. I feel scared. I'm going to go for a walk for a little while. And when I come back, if you want to talk about this calmly, I'd like to do that. You let them know. You excuse yourself from a room. You go do something else. When a man is alone in a house, left with his own anger, and you're not there for him to keep taking it out on, you're going to have a very different person when you come back. You cannot be afraid of walking away. Walking away is your power. Boundary is your power. When you walk away from a man, again, like I said, he's either going to clean up his act, or he's going to get bored with you because you're not playing this toxic game with him anymore, and he's going to find some other poor woman who wants to play this game with him. Okay? You're going to find out. You're going to know instantly. You don't have to call a psychic anymore. You don't even have to watch my videos anymore. You just do this one test. You're going to know. You're going to know what type of man he is. Like this. And sometimes you walk away even more. And it takes them a little while and they come back running. So I hope I answered your question. Let's take another one here. And remember, be sure to ask me a question. It says, Adrienne, what can you do to remain in your feminine energy when your guy is moody and having a bad day, or whatever the case may be? How do you not feed in that energy? You ignore it. You ignore it. That is the fastest, quickest way to, I am a goddess on a pedestal. Oh, you're in a bad mood? I just have a whole season of 4 weddings and a funeral to catch up on Hulu. I'm going to ignore it and go do my own thing. Ignore it. Say nothing. Nothing. Because if you go, I've noticed that you're a little, no, I'm not. That's what you're going to get, right? So you just ignore it. You do you, boo. You just ignore it. Okay. Someone said feeling statements don't work when a guy does not love you. So feeling statements are not here to work. They're not here to work or not work. They are simply how you feel. Whenever I hear someone saying feeling statements don't work, I'm like, you're trying to make something happen. I have another video about that out there, okay? About how feeling statements are not to make something happen or make the man do something, all right? Looking for some questions. Oh, good to see you, Patricia. Let's see here. Any other questions? I'm looking for question marks. Here we go. Fire of Love says, oh geez, where'd you go? Do you always have to name your feeling or show it when you're with your face and your body language? No. In fact, what you really want to do is choose how much you're telling the man. You don't want to keep telling your feeling, every little feeling you have. Now I feel mad. Now I feel sad. You're going to look like a real, victim yourself. Like, I have to tell you every feeling I'm feeling now. That's not what feeling statements are about. Feeling statements are where you know what you're feeling in your body. You're aware of what you're feeling in your body. And if it calls for something to be said, if it calls for you to say something to the man, you can say, well, yeah, I'm feeling, and choose one word. It's not a chance to, go on for a paragraph, but just choose one feeling, how you're feeling, and make it succinct. Choose your words wisely. Omit the word you as much as you can. Practice saying sentences without the word you and see how it works out for you. See what happens, okay? Okay, let's take another question here. I'm looking. Let's see. Okay, I asked for my stuff back and he comes back into my life. We make amazing love and he disappears again. That's because you're letting him back into your life without working out the terms and conditions. All right, so a guy knows what's up. He knows if he shows back into your life, you're going to have great makeup sex. And oh my goodness, you bring up the best scenario, which is there are some men so hooked on drama and the makeup sex and how amazing it feels that they actually will send you down this dark road knowing that the makeup sex and the getting back together part is going to be such a high. So just be aware of that. Be aware of that, okay? Goddess of Euphoria says, if a guy doesn't call after a fight, no matter how big or small, should you just move on or should you just reach out? This is about how you feel. So how do you feel? Do I feel like I want to reach out? Do I feel like I want to do the work for him or for us? Do I want to do my part in this? Really find how you feel. Is it a chronic problem? Every time you guys have a fight, you have to do the reaching out. My best advice to you, stop getting into fights. If you do this work, if you get into your feminine energy, you'll stop getting into fights because you'll stop engaging. You can't have a fight if you don't engage. Just can't. All right. Let's see here. I'm so happy to see y'all too. I'm seeing some sweet messages in here. All right, so it looks like we're all out of questions. I am looking for one last question. Oh, Paige P says, is it toxic when a guy keeps coming back and leaving repeatedly? Best way to deal with it? Yes, it's toxic, I feel like. But what does it matter? It's toxic is a word. We're more concerned with how you feel, Okay, so how do you feel when he's in your life and he leaves, and he's in your life and you leave? This is when, in my book, 500 Ways to Talk to a Man, which is an ebook that's full of scripting. Tammy, ask your question again. I missed it. But it's full of scripting and it's full of teaching you how to script and how to say these things. So I have a model that I use, that I teach you. So I notice this keeps happening. I notice that it seems like we come together and then there's separation, and we come together and there's separation. And I'm feeling what? I feel so sad when this happens. I feel like when you come back, I'm almost sad because I feel like I'm going to be left again. I want to fix us. What do you think we can do? What do you think we can do? I want to fix us. What do you think we can do? This is very important. Okay. Tammy says, how do you end a romance but remain friends after a toxic experience? I mean, you tell a guy we're not a match. And I want to be your friend. I have no other answer. I don't recommend being friends with him per se. How do you help a stonewaller? Josie, you let him know how you feel. Are my answers starting to feel redundant, y'all? You let him know how you feel. This silence feels what? I feel so blank when we don't talk for days. How do you feel? Make it short and make it very clear. So go watch my video on the emotional parfait. It is in my whiteboard series. I teach you how to go from your first feelings that you have in the parfait are usually where you want to blame the man. Like, I feel so pissed at you. That's not a feeling statement. And I made a video recently with about how to get in touch with your feelings as well. And I'll link those below. Someone wrote, there's nothing wrong with being best friends. I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it. Remember, I'll give you my opinion. I'll tell you what I feel. But you go do whatever you feel is right. If you feel like you want to be friends with a toxic ex, your business. Okay? I don't tell you what to do. I follow you. All right? This is why I am a coach that has a program called The Absolute Best Chances of Getting Your Man Back, because everyone else is going to tell you to move on. And I'm going to tell you, if you love this person and if you want to give it one last really good try, these are the absolute best chances. These methods will help you get him back. And if it doesn't help you get him back, and he's not right for you and it's not going to work out, it is going to call forth and attract the man who is right for you. We're getting you right. We're getting your energy to a healthy place. You are no longer participating in the toxicity that has created this problem and this issue. You're in a new place now, so you're not going to attract a new toxic man. Well, you might attract one just so you can make sure you know your stuff. And you can say, oh my goodness, I'm feeling it again. It's happening again. And you can move on from there, okay? Okay, Goddess, last question. What should you do if you're in a bad mood and your negative emotions are showing through your body language and your guy picks up on it? Well, yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Yeah, I'm feeling pissed today. Yeah. Feeling like I just want to scream. Yeah, that's how I feel. And then go take care of yourself. Go take care of yourself. Go for a walk. Go to a spin class. Put on some music in your bedroom and dance. Take a bubble bath. Paint your nails. Do something good for yourself. Read some affirmations. Pray. Call a girlfriend you love. Find a healthy thing to do to help yourself through this moment, okay? Much love to you all. I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Please support my work and give this video a thumbs up. If you've appreciated the content and I have helped you, please repost it, share it with a girlfriend. And if I didn't get your question over here in the live chat box, feel free to use the comment section below. Now, if you like joining me for live classes, all you have to do is subscribe, and then there's a little bell that you can ring. I think it's down over here. You ring that little bell and it'll notify you when I'm live, so you can come join me and talk to me. You don't have to get on my waiting list for one-on-one private coaching. And if you want to learn more materials, study from home, study at your own pace, I have so many amazing at-home, study at your own pace, digital products that you can go. I have 500 ways to talk to a man. I have the ABCs to get him back. I have my popular manifesting program, which is New Man Manifesto. I have a program I did with my girlfriend, Helena Hart, as well. It's all at my website, everheartcoaching.com. Please, everybody, if you haven't given me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs up. I want to know if you like this video or not. I love to see those little thumbs. All right, everybody, much love, and I hope to see y'all very soon again. Thank you so much for joining tonight. And everyone, you asked such amazing, amazing questions. Thank you for the love. I can't wait to read all my comments. Much love to y'all. Bye-bye.